Thank you. Ron, you're on Zoom. I mean, you're on mute, but maybe you want to be on mute, that which is fine.
No. What's going on?
Oh, now you're back. Now you're back.
Oh,
Oh
there we
my
go.
God, look
Can
at you
you hear
guys.
me? Check one, check two,
Yeah,
right?
you're very here.
All right. I feel like I'm with my band members right now.
Well, you look like you're in a band, so there you go.
Well, because yeah.
Well, good. Oh, well, Heather had just said she couldn't make it, and then Ron rolled right after. Oh, but look, everyone's coming. You've all risen. Hi, Lena.
Hi.
God, I can't wait. Everyone's fresh off vacations. Carolyn's on a vacation. Everyone is here. Okay. All right, guys, let's get things rolling. Let's do our coherence exercise. Everybody just sit comfortably in your chair or in your stool, wherever you're sitting. Feel yourself relax and let's land into this Monday evening that we have with each other. Let's close our eyes. And take a moment to take one deep breath, just one, and just let it all go. Let go of this weekend, let go of today, let go of like all the amazingness that I know is hanging out with family. And yet, some of you are amazing hosts, so I'm sure you had to either cook stuff or engage in a lot of conversations. So let all that go. Let go of this Monday, in which was the beginning of a week, wrapping up from a beautiful, whether you celebrate Easter or not, it's in the air. It's a beautiful sentiment that everyone gets together and talks about, which is immortality, right? The belief that there's something more than us out there. So now feel your body, feel your hands on your legs. If you don't have them on your legs, put them on your legs. So just so you can feel yourself really anchored, so you can feel the friction of your energy in your body. And now feel that energy travel down your legs into your feet. Now put your attention on your feet touching the ground, whether you're wearing shoes or not. Feel that energy of the ground holding space for you. And now let's feel that energy come up your legs again, come up your back, up your spine, down your arms. See that energy leaving your hands and feel that energy again up going up your throat, your head, and leaving your head. And see how your body's a vessel of energy from your feet to the top of your head. And now bring that energy and anchor it in your heart, in your beautiful heart. And feel the warmth of your heart. Feel how good your heart feels, right? Where you put your energy, your heart. When things feel stressful, you feel it. When things feel good, you also feel it. So feel your heart as a beautiful anchor that reminds you that you're here and that your energy, that you're alive energy. Now feel this beautiful energy grow out of your heart and start going into the rest of your body. This energy is healing the rest of your body. Every single cell, every single organ is getting oxygenated by this beautiful energy. That's you. That's from your heart. And now this energy leaves your body and starts to go into your rooms, healing every single space of your room, creating love, creating harmony, creating coherence. The word that's operative today is coherence. I invite everyone to really connect to as coherent as you can for the next hour, not just in your body, but in your mind, in your soul. Now see this energy now travel outside of your rooms into your house, creating peace in your house. This energy now goes into your street, creating peace, love, coherence, joy in your street. This energy now travels and covers our country, creating peace in our country, creating love, creating order. Knowing that order doesn't have to look like anything specific. There's always chaos before order. Out of the biggest chaos in the world, the biggest order came about, the universe. So always keep that in perspective. That chaos is order in the making. Now feel that energy cover all of the planet. Feel that energy cover all of the universe, creating order through every planet, every star, every single thing. There's order. And there's always order if we look at things under the right narrative. And at the end, even if that narrative I just don't know, that's enough order to feel peace. Because that's the only that's the only truth, really, that we just don't know. We don't have the panoramic lens to know exactly why we need to go through certain things. And that's also on a micro level in our lives, right? And also in a bigger level, our friends and neighbors, our boss, our co-workers. There's got to be a reason, right? We just have to, even if we don't know what it is, we just have to trust that there is one. And I want you to feel that energy now that's in the universe, travel back down to your heart where it all started, and feel at home, feel warm, feel your intention for today, feel your intention for your week. What do you want it to happen this week? Do you want more coherence in your household, with your clients, with your significant others, with your family, with your neighbors? Who do you want to have a breakthrough with in coherence this week? Who are you going to be for yourself and for them and for the world? What are you going to say when people bring up the news? Are you going to listen? Are you going to try to change their mind? Are you just going to be with the conversation? Now let's take 3 deep breaths again. 1, 2, 3. And now slowly and with intentionality, open your eyes. All right, everyone. Happy Monday.
Hey,
Well,
happy Monday.
lots to celebrate about. First of all, I wanted to say that I had the pleasure of joining Joyland. He did a beautiful sound bowl ceremony on the beach. And, it was at 7 a.m., which made me wake up at 5, but it was really worth it.
It was amazing. It was amazing. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, you're a talented musician. Why don't you tell the group a little bit about how, what your preparation looks like and what your intention is when you do these sound bowl ceremonies? Joyland, did you hear me?
I'm sorry, what was that again?
No, saying, why don't you share a little bit about what you do to prepare for them and what your intention is when you do these ceremonies?
Uh, well, actually, the intention is to calm everyone, to relax, to find a way to focus and stay away from, I don't want to say reality, but but have that mental peace, that relaxation moment, and just connecting with yourself.
Nice. Well, I felt very connected, so thank you again. All right. Who would love to share some wins this week? I want to hear this. A few of you I haven't seen in a while. Obviously, our guest star, but anybody else who would like to share?
I have one, George. You'd be proud
Okay.
of me. Something very personal, but At this point, I think we all want to be an open book. So, something I've never shared with this group, at least in particular, but I have been very open with George about this, is that I haven't been back in the dating scene since I got divorced 6 years ago.
Oh,
And George was one of those few people in my life that motivated me to join an app, and I was very reluctant. He kind of dared me and say, Sulai, this is a challenge. This is a challenge that I'm giving you to please do. And I did that, but then I never challenged myself to actually use the app because I was like, this is not for me, this is not for me, this is not for me. But anyways, point being that after a couple of margaritas at a happy hour with friends, I actually started reviewing my matches and replying, and I went on two successful dates last week.
ah,
Right, one of which I'm going out
hey.
again tomorrow. So for me, this was a huge win. It was one of those challenges that I've had for the last 6 years, and I never felt I was ready and I couldn't do it. And I finally did it, and I needed to share it, especially because, George, I know you've been after me doing this, and I thought you'd be so proud.
I feel like, I'm a dad and watching Little League, and my kid just did a home run.
I did it, guys. I
I
did it. I broke the ice. I did it.
I
Right.
am so
Wait,
proud
so
of you,
what's
man.
your approach? Like, do you do like the video call or the phone call before you meet, or you just say, "Hey, let's meet up"?
Raw
Right. Well,
dog.
actually, usually I was expecting the men to do that, and they did. Like I said, like my friend was like, listen, if they're too chatty and they don't like ask you to like speak at some point, then just like move on. And that's what I did. I spoke with a couple of them. I've been chatting with a few, spoke to a couple of them, and then they moved on to let's meet up. One, we met for coffee. I thought that would be a safe bet. The second one that inspired me a little bit more, we met for dinner and it was very successful, and we're meeting again for dinner tomorrow. And yeah, but you know what? I'm new at this run, so I think every week I'll come up with a new strategy and I'm happy to share it with the group. But right now I'm so proud I finally did this. I have to tell
Oh
you.
yeah. Oh, I've been doing it for like 5 years.
Oh,
So
yeah, but I've,
yeah.
I've I've heard from so many people it's so successful. Like I know friends that are in successful relationships from that.
Yeah, I'm of the frame of mind that my success comes from just meeting people directly
Yeah.
in public, but I'm not against it. Uh, and it's good that you did it. So I do congratulate you because there's people that want to meet you, and
Exactly.
and I think that's the beauty of it. It's just you get to meet people.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yep. So thank you.
Wow, I'm not gonna lie, you just made my day. Like you just made my day. And I think it has to do so much because I know you and I love you and I know like exactly what Ron is saying. Like you have so much to bring to the table and you are such a successful entrepreneur and time is limited. So it's like I just think the nature of our lifestyles now, like we really have to almost like not even being brave. We just have to be realistic. Like if
Yeah.
I'm an entrepreneur like you and I'm spending the whole day talking with clients, I mean, what is this? Like bar culture is not really like sustainable or even doable when you're someone
Right.
that's building. So I'm so proud of you and yeah and exactly right. It's like you did the dinners and you know what? It'll be what it'll be and it won't what it won't, but who cares? Like you're in the
Exactly.
game and
I'm
I'm
not scared of it anymore. Now I get it.
oh my God. So wow, wow, wow.
And you don't have to be friends if it doesn't work out. So
That's
don't
right.
don't
I-
focus on like, oh, we can be friends. No, just
Thank
don't
you.
worry about that. Just it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out.
That's great advice. Yeah, because that's the other thing. I'm not like I'm right now not committed to anyone I've met so far. So that's good advice.
That's amazing, amazing. Okay, now I know the bar's pretty high here now, but I want to hear from other ones this week. So, Lena, how was your vacation?
It was amazing. So I was in Vieques, Puerto Rico,
Oh,
and there's a spot that we rent. It's on the top of a mountain. It's the very last house, so there's no traffic, and it's just
pristine and beautiful, and it was so peaceful. I really just relished in sitting in the nature and just watching and listening and taking it in through all my senses, and there was just a lot of silence, which I loved.
Oh my God. And Lena, for all that you don't know, she's such an incredible attorney and she just works so hard. And I was so excited that you had this time to get away with your husband. And do you feel you got some good decompression?
Oh yeah, definitely. It
Oh,
was amazing. Yeah, I needed it.
oh, so good.
Yeah, thank
Oh
you.
God. Another child of mine that hit a home run.
It was just paradise, and I really just soaked up all the beauty.
Oh, amazing. I love it.
Lena, what kind of law do you practice? Just very quickly.
Um, Two general focuses. One is civil litigation that falls under a pretty broad umbrella. So it could be like partnership disputes, family disputes, will, trust, estate, guardianship, conservatorship, real estate disputes, almost any kind of dispute, but I don't do criminal and I don't do like personal injury, car accident kind of things. And then the other umbrella would be general business. So anything from formation of a business to contracting, financing, licensing, leasing, purchases, sales. So
Got it.
yeah.
And your hair got really blonde. You got some good sun. It
The
looks great.
sun, yeah, the sun bleaches me out.
Yeah, it looks awesome. You look really, really
Yeah.
nice. All right. Thank you so much. Roxy, how are you? Tell us what's been going on, you beautiful woman. You're on mute.
Uh, it was spring break for my girls, or at least they made up their own spring break. So it was nice to have them home. And I guess for me, my win would be just to watch them and observe them and to hear people say that they've just become such, I mean, this is their words, lovely, lovely young women.
They are.
These are friends that have known them since they were babies.
Oh,
So that felt really nice.
for sure. They're amazing girls who I spent my last 4th of July with Roxy and her family in her beautiful home in California, and beautiful, beautiful family. I'm so happy you spent this time with them. Amazing. Amazing, amazing, man. Manolo, Manolo hosted an event for me on Thursday night here in Miami. And just like Manolo, the event was amazing. So I'm so, so grateful to you. And tell us anything that you want to share about this week. If you want
Definitely.
to
I think
share.
that was a really great win. We put together a workshop based on George's book at the Soho Pool House in Miami. And we had to end up closing the list because it was sold out. Great turnout, great feedback. Everyone was super happy about the workshop and the information they gathered from the event. George did great, and he was super happy. So that was a huge win for this week.
It was awesome. Manolo introduced me, and he was witty and funny. And he was also my AV guy. So I didn't have a clicker, and then I didn't have a headset. So I was like, "What is this?" But Manolo helped me. He showed me this tap F3 thing, which I forgot anyway. But thank you.
Command tab,
Your
command tab.
command tab, your tech support was on point. So thank you for that. It was beautiful, and for all you guys who are in Miami, the four of us, yeah, four of us are in this call right now. It's been, Miami can get really warm and humid, and we've been really blessed that we're not there yet. I mean, I think the reason why when New York's still cold during this time, Miami is still, it's very, very nice. So yeah, it wasn't humid. It was just a perfect night. It was a perfect, perfect night. Carolyn. Last but not least.
Hey, well, let's see. I pulled something off, I think, that was pretty special. I was just flipping through Facebook last year and I saw a picture of a guy in there, and it just caught me. The energy just caught me, and I went, "That's someone I need to meet." And he's in Mexico. And when I got here last year, and I said to my friend, do you know this guy? He lives around here. And she goes, "Oh, yeah, he's part of the Dr. Joe community here." And so I got to meet him. We talked. And another thing I was trying to manifest was a sound bath healing. So it just all came together that he texted me on Saturday and said he'd love to come and do a sound bath healing for me on the beach, just out of nowhere. And so it's kind of the accumulation of this whole energy that's set up. And I got to have my sound bath. And I feel wonderful, by the way. It was really amazing.
Yeah, they're really, really good. I'm glad we both had them this weekend. So good.
Yeah.
Wait, Ron, you're the
I didn't
last
have
but
it.
not least.
I had loss. I didn't. That was my question for you. Does it always have to be a win?
Well, you know what? Here's a win. Look at
Like, just
you.
be like,
But
you
look
want to
at
have any
you.
losses?
Here's the thing. Like, you're all right. I don't see you
My win is being
physically.
here right now.
Exactly. So that's a
That's
win.
it. That's my win right now.
And you know
Last
what?
week was not a very good week for me, but
I get it. I get you.
yeah.
I get you. But you're here today and we're so appreciative that you are and you had to whatever you did to sort yourself out, you did it and thank you because that's inspiring that in spite of getting a little handful of not getting what we want, we still show up, you know?
Well,
So,
my loss was this, I'll add something to it is because this is something I've hinted at in previous sessions. Uh, One of the things that I've been dealing with in my life is it was my daughter's 20th birthday last week, but I was alienated and I've been estranged, not she's been estranged from me for the past 5 years, which is what's kind of really derailed my life. And given that it was her birthday, it brings up a lot of emotions. And so it just took over the whole week. So, but to go back to Zule and the thing about dating, when you meet people, one of the big things for me, one of the reasons why the shut the fuck up method works is because uh, I date a lot, but the problem is I scare all the women away because when they start asking, most of the women I date are divorced with kids. So they're immediately going to ask, "Do you have kids?" You can't lie. You have to tell them the truth. And then this whole story of estrangement comes up and alienation. And that always derails the whole thing where the women basically say, "I think you need to focus on yourself versus dating." So, but it's gotten a lot better though. So, yeah. Anyway, so it was a big loss last week, but the win is I'm here.
absolutely. Thank you so much for being here, Ron. It's truly.
Okay.
Really
Oh, you
I
moved.
I will say, Ron, I always feel, at least in my own experience, I feel like all the people that you meet, like sometimes they're just not meant to be in your life, right? And why waste your time? And I think, you're such a beautiful soul. Maybe you're just making room, or the universe is making room for you to meet the right one.
From the books that I've read, I appreciate what you're saying, and yes, there are definitely people that should not be in our respective lives, but a lot of it had to do with just realizing I can't live my life with my circumstance regarding my daughter. I have to move on, and part of shut the fuck up relates to that fact is yes, I have a daughter, she's 20 years old, she's at college. Do I have to go into it the way that I used to? No, I don't. Now it's just I keep it cut and dry, and it's like let's talk about me and let's talk about you. So
good. You're finding your way. Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. Joyland, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I have a quick question for you and Caroline. What was your experience after the sound bath? Do you feel anything? Do you sleep better that same night? The next day, do you got like a call that you were waiting for? Because it's basically like a energy cleansing. So if you have any blockages, it's gonna release that. and help in any way.
Well, I had an amazing experience. I mean, I told you I was honest with you. I did like drink a Celsius right before the sound bath. So halfway through the sound bath, I was like, I need to be at a gym. But it was really beautiful. And then after our session, I actually met up with a friend of mine, and she's a medium psychic healer. So it was 4/4, which was a portal. So it was a very special day for me. That whole day, I was really magical, and I think that your work that morning really started it off. So thank you. It was just I every day. Listen, I'm not gonna lie. Even being with you guys today, hearing all your stories, I'm so moved, and I feel so at the right place at the right time. So magic is something that I'm very happy to say I feel throughout my life, and you guys are a big part of it.
Right. I want to ask the group, since everyone is into sound bath, it seems. Um, do you know of the Integratron here in the California desert? Have you heard of that? Integratron.
I never got to go, but I know what it is.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm talking about?
Hmm.
It's this building in the middle of the desert that was built by this guy who was trying to channel aliens.
Yeah.
But but it was built with this acoustic dimension, and it's phenomenal. It's a brilliant location.
Is it like a red rocks kind of thing?
No, it's a California desert,
Okay.
and I'll post after this session. I'll
Yeah.
post something about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Can you
Okay,
put
good.
it in the chat, Ron?
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
I
Really cool.
I love sound baths. I live for sound baths.
Yeah, I think
And
Joshua
you're on
Tree.
the West Coast, so yeah, you should definitely look into that. I have a friend that swears by it. Carolyn, you want to tell Joyland your experience
It
on?
was magical. It was right on the beach. It was right on the ocean. And, it came, some clouds came in. It was sprinkling. It was hot. It was like 87 with the
Wow.
sprinkling water. It was just
It's
magical.
4:30.
A little wind. I felt so relaxed. All pain has left my body. It's like just it's like everything went into coherence. Everything calmed down. And I can feel my body healing through that enhanced coherence. And I've just been like, it's been a magical experience. I still feel it.
Awesome.
So,
Awesome.
I love it. I love it. Well, guys, so the assignment from last week, and don't stress out if you didn't do it, because at some point you probably read it, was chapter 9 and chapter 10. And I love this combo because chapter 9 is all about embracing the unknown, and which heavily goes into the conversation of mortality. And then chapter 10 is about controlling the narrative, right? So it's almost like life and death, like the birth, and then it ties to Easter, right? To like life after death, right? Which is something happens, right? Like the week that you had, Ron, last week, right? That's like the completion of something. And now out of that, something new, it has birth, right? Like your new week, your new experience, July, everybody's experiences. So, who wants to share about what their experience was with chapter 9, Embrace the Unknown? Whatever you can recall, or whatever you want to share about it. Manolo.
So, example for me was last week when we were doing your workshop. Miami attendees could sometimes be a little unpredictable. And although we had closed our list, it was sold out. We had a good turnout on pre-registrations. You, at the end of the day, don't know who's going to show up. You don't know if it's going to rain. You don't know if there's going to be technical issues. So stepping into the event where we were kind of hosting George, there was a lot of unknown. When do we start? People, the huge parking lot where everyone goes to park was completely closed. So now they had to find additional parking. So we had to start later. So it was interesting stepping into that situation and not knowing, but just almost understanding and knowing that it was going to work out for the best. And I felt it did.
Yeah, no, and you're so good at that. Well, that's what you do. I mean, Manolo is a multipreneur, but he puts he's a curator of people and events, and definitely when you're in event production, right? Like embracing the unknown, it's like you just gotta smile. It's this knowing that it's always gonna work out, you know? So I did a raffle. I had this intention to do this raffle of 3 books, and I went to Office Depot and I bought the double raffle thing, and I was so proud that I had a system in my head, and then I get there and the raffle tickets were nowhere to be found, right? And it was that moment where I was like, how could I forget them? Like I went out of my way to get the freaking, but it lasted, I swear, like 2 seconds. And then I looked at Mariana, who's this amazing woman friend of mine that was helping me. And I just like I really applied this whole thing that I'm doing now with like you're the observer watching the thoughts and not sticking to the thought I'm an idiot, where did I put it, what a waste of time, what a waste of time. So I just looked at her and I said, hey, I bought these tickets to do the raffles and I lost them. And I would love to get everyone's info and I would love to do raffle tickets. What do I do? And she was like, oh, don't worry. I'll just have them fill out all the things. And by the time the workshop ends, I'll just cut everything off and I'll cut their names out and we'll put them inside the hat. And that'll be the tickets will be their names and their contact. And I'm like, great. So how quickly we can get off, right? This idea of how we wanted something to be and just like move swiftly into action, right? Into a really, that's the unknown. The unknown is like, it's raining. I didn't get this. I didn't get the job. I didn't get this on time. And how are we going to short that period of upset, of that refractory period until we just go into action, right?
I want to mention something you at the beginning. You talked about chaos and order,
Mm-hmm.
and it really hit me that when you were speaking, that you can't have one without the other. I mean, in order to have order, there has to be chaos, and in order for there to be chaos, you have to have order. It's kind of like a yin and yang thing, and I think that's kind of empowering. That when you think things are chaotic, the counterpart that has to come into effect is order. And the reason why we live our lives to maintain order is because we want to avoid the chaos, which is naturally going to come about because life happens. I just like that. So
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you look into a dish with a microscope and you see bacteria, bacteria is like fighting, right? And out of that bacteria fighting, having contrast, a cell is made, and out of that cell, a tissue is made, and then an organ is made, and then a human is made. So at the
mhm.
core, we come from chaos, and whether it's the Big Bang or whether, you're redoing your home. Like you don't walk in the middle of you're getting your house done and like scream at the contractor, like, why is the roof fall? I mean, you need to go through that chaos in order to get that beautiful brand new home.
Right. Well, to relate to embrace the unknown is often chaotic. You just don't know.
Yeah,
It's basically chaos. Chaos.
yeah, yeah.
And I think along with that, Ron, comes a lot of fear. So people they have a lot of fear around it. So I think when we let go of the fear, we tend to let go of the chaos.
Yeah.
And I guess that's part of humanity that we try to control everything.
Mhm.
And instead of that, we should like let go and let it be.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, the more that the more that we can be in our own personal, let's say, bubble of peace, right? Because the world will like make you look right now and say, like, it's never been more chaotic, right?
Mhm.
Um, but
It's
is it
never been
though?
more chaotic. It
Is it
truly has.
though? Is it, or is it that we've never been more informed? Maybe stuff existed always, but now we're like we can't believe how much stuff there, but we've never been more informed in our lives about everything, you know? So how can then we monitor the intake of whether it's news or those conversations? Today I have this, again, I'm gonna apply my book. I have a wonderful family member of mine that I love so much. And this person has a gift. I mean, it's almost like a talent. Like I wish this person can make money. We can talk about, I don't know, my dog Meester, and he or she will find a way to turn it into Trump in less than 3 words. Like whatever I can think about, like Trump will rise. And all of a sudden I'm like, no, wait, I don't want, no, we're talking about Meester. Like like how did, I did an interview today and I called this person to show her or him the pictures of the interview. And all of a sudden now we're talking about him. And I'm like, how? I don't, but anyway, so that's where obviously, and I invite you all to see how you're mitigating conversations in your life, right? With people, because there's people, I mean, we love our families, right? And we love our friends and this isn't it's not fun to shut people up, right? It's not fun to not let someone be heard. And yet we got to take care of ourselves. And there is a point that it's like, hey, I love you to death, but I don't want to talk about this.
Yeah, because the point of your book is not to tell other people to shut the fuck up. It's to tell
Exactly.
yourself. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And how do I find a way to politely retrieve myself from a situation and not be, and you know what, it's all about how we, if you're really looking after yourself and you go, you know what, I really I don't want to talk about this and I love you, and you find your own language, right? So it's not like I'm making this person wrong. It's just more like, hey, I gotta take care of myself. And 9 out of 10, they'll know that, hey, this person, they're not trying to make me wrong. They're trying to take care of themselves. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So,
I,
yeah.
I was going to say,
Uh-huh.
me or someone else?
You go ahead.
I was going to say one universal area that chapter 9 and 10, I think, applies is death.
Yeah.
Ron's talking about the chaos and the calm. It doesn't even have to be spoken. This doesn't even involve words. It can just be energy. The minute someone lets go of the unknown, things get very calm and it's easier for someone to pass. But if you're hanging on with the death grip of what you think is the unknown, it's not quite as beautiful as when we just let go of the unknown.
Yeah.
What's interesting is that, my thoughts about death, I'm not afraid of dying and transitioning and passing. What I'm afraid of is not accomplishing everything I wanted to during this lifetime. That's what really weighs down on me. It's not the unknown after death. It's just not accomplishing everything I want.
And trust me,
I wasn't saying you, sorry, I wasn't saying you, Ron. I was just saying what you said.
Oh, I agree.
I
Yeah,
didn't.
no, I
Okay.
understood that. Yeah.
I wasn't pointing you out. Okay, good.
No. I didn't take it that way. It was just it just made it just brought the whole sentiment to mind.
So it's the checklist, right? It's not hitting that checklist of all the
Yeah.
things that you want to do and stuff.
Yeah.
So then that's the opportunity where, you have your toolbox, right? And whatever that toolbox is for you. I mean, a toolbox is usually a wrench, a hammer, screwdriver, right? And this toolbox is your personal toolbox is something like empathy, compassion, grace, perspective. So where can you find a tool in that toolbox to for you to really look at your life and not so much from that metric of all the things that you've done that you haven't done, but to look at it from all the things that you have done
Mhm.
and that you've been blessed to do, and I'm probably here the person that knows you the most, but like, I mean, you not only rubbed shoulders, but you've been in charge and you've created incredible opportunities for like incredible artists that would have never stepped into those jobs and situations had not been for you connecting the dots. And maybe there is like an exercise that you you could do for you, where you start really taking count of some of these amazing things that you've done, because the checklist is something that it's gonna come up for all of us. It's coming up for Jeff Bezos. It's coming up for everybody. It's just like how we can mitigate that checklist and really kind of keep it under control is obviously by looking all this at all the success that we have achieved and really perspective on all the other people in the world that would look at your life and be like, oh my God, you're the biggest rock star in the world.
Right. Well, this group is a tool for me. So this is in my toolbox now.
Yeah. Right. So then when we're not with you, right, then you internalize it because we're all you anyway, right? And you internalize, what would the group be saying right now to me if they were present, right?
Yeah,
About
it's
XYZ.
becoming like that. Yeah.
So no. So good. Anybody
And
else?
trust me, Ron, one thing is to have a checklist, and one thing is to have a life purpose and mission. We all come with a mission. Trust me, you're not gonna leave before completing everything on Earth. So just let
I
it
hope
be.
not.
Yeah. And sometimes in life, like, you find a narrative of a purpose, right? That's funny. That's chapter 10, control your narrative, right? So we have a narrative of like, oh my God, this is my calling. This is what I'm meant to do. I'm meant to be a healer. I'm meant to do, and sometimes our purpose is just a lot more subtle and softer. And maybe our purpose is just, today I was talking to a friend of mine and her daughter passed away exactly a year ago from a drug overdose, and now she's processing what happened because it's only been a year, but about 3 months ago she asked me about a real estate class in LA, and I'm like, oh my God, I know the best woman that teaches like the literally how you pass the test and all you have to do is like do her weekend course. And I hadn't talked to my friend for a while. She called me today and she's like, oh my God, me and my daughter passed the test. We did that workshop with that woman you talked to me about. And then I was thinking maybe that's my purpose. Maybe that's all of our purpose, just to to be a little ray of light or sunshine to people we care for by recommending them a handyman or whatever it is, right? Maybe it doesn't need to be this pressure thing that I think sometimes we ordain ourselves like, oh, I don't know what my purpose is. Your purpose is that you're alive and your purpose is just to get through the day as best as you can. What if that's the purpose?
And being a connector in this case.
Exactly. Because how many times do we find a purpose and then we get over that purpose, right? It's like that's always going to be a thing too. Like that, whatever is inspiring you today, there will come a point that it's not shiny and new anymore, right? And that comes and we can extrapolate that to relationships, to jobs, to anything. So it's like, how can we, be mindful of that, and be okay that we have those thoughts and still keep going.
Absolutely. I think everything is a cycle. It's like a chapter in a book.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, no, I it's and a lot of times it's like I don't know how you guys are using your listening these days, but whether to me it was that phone call with my family member this morning, and then having that conversation with my friend whose daughter passed away not so long ago. I was like, okay, this isn't my time to really give advice. I'm just gonna listen, and listening is so underrated, you know. And it's probably the most beautiful skill we can own, just to be a really good listener.
I
I've
agree.
been, oh, I'm sorry.
No, I just said I agree.
I've been studying to be a death doula,
Mhm.
and I've been reading a lot of books on dying, and I love where they come from. They're saying that just embrace the unknown. You don't know what this person's going through. Just be there with them. Just witness. let them know you're there, um, let them talk to you, get them to tell you what they're feeling, what's going on with them. And just, it's okay if you don't know. It's okay if you don't know any answers. It's okay if you don't know anything to tell them. Just be there, just witness.
Yeah. Beautiful. And yeah, and then just death, whether, when we talk about literally literal death or just the completion of things, right? Like ask yourself, well, and you don't have to answer, just something to think about. Like, what are you stressing about now that won't matter in 5 years at all? Or at death for that matter? Is it bills, status, opinions, just meaningless stuff in the big picture, you know? And how
You wrote
we,
about that on LinkedIn. You did a great posting about that, about what is it going to really matter in 5 years? What you
yeah,
obsess about, you're obsessing about your financial circumstance, you're obsessing about a romantic relationship or your status in your industry. Does it really matter in 5 years? You can't take it. You can't take it with you. That's what you said.
yeah. Yeah, we're not taking anything. The only thing that we are really taking with us is we get to own that we are not fully present in our lives. We're taking that away from us. That's the one thing that we're taking. We're taking the quality of a moment away from us, you know? And I'm not saying that every moment needs to feel like you're in Disneyland and you're 12 years old, and yet, be mindful of the things that are in front of you that you're so blessed to have, right? Like food on your table, a healthy body, people that love you from all different capacities, right? Whether it is a primary relationship or a friend or whoever, how much things, how blind we are to all those things that we're swimming around because we are obsessing over that one thing that we don't have, you know?
And I think that if we start to back into it, starting at death, we'll get to a better place and live a more fulfilling life because, we wait till the end and at the end it's a little too late. So, and I think if we did start to focus on death a little bit more, like out in Hawaii, we do these things called dinner over death. And so a bunch of girls will get together and we'll talk about death, and there's a whole bunch of questions that we answer. But if we start doing more of that, I think we will live a much more satisfying day to day, to your point, being present moment
You
instead
have
of
dinner.
waiting.
You have dinner parties called Dinner Over Death.
Mhm.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a national organization, but
Oh,
they give you great questions to ask, and I hate to say they're fun, but they are. And it just starts to normalize death because I don't think we do a good job of that. But I think if we do more of this, and then, like I said, we're starting sort of at the end because we're talking about death, but then we can get to the place of where we are today. And I think we'll live a more joyful life.
Absolutely. So not taking life so seriously,
Yeah.
right, equals success. So ironically, not taking life so seriously is what's going to make us feel successful. So wanting to be successful is actually really stressful and doesn't make us feel successful. But not taking it so seriously is what feels like a success because we're enjoying it, right? We're enjoying everything for what it is and not with this metric of how we think it should be. Why? Because we have less pressure. And when we have less pressure, we make better decisions and we are in more of a flow state.
Mhm.
That makes sense?
Mhm.
So death is not the enemy, it's clarity
Mhm.
actually. And it forces us to, and that's again the irony, right? That having some sort of intimacy with it, whatever that looks like for you. Again, we don't have to go tombstone shopping, but it forces presence, it forces gratitude, and it forces urgency for what matters.
well, but I think that what we've all read and what I think this group believes in is the idea of being always present, which is very difficult. But if you're always present, you're basically at one with death, is what I'm thinking. You really are.
That feels right.
Yeah, if you're always present, you're at one with death. Death won't be anything.
And if you think about it, like we have our beautiful death doula on the call tonight. 5, 10 years ago, we'd be like, wait, what'd she say? Did she just say, like death doulas? It's like that's a new and upcoming.
Are we talking about Carolyn? Carolyn's comment? Yeah.
Yeah, she's a death doula.
Which I love.
I'm studying to be one.
You're studying, yeah.
Yes.
And as Joe Dispenza would say, then you are on your way to being one.
Yeah.
Do you have to be licensed for that?
Certified.
Certified.
And you need a certain body count, right?
That's a really wild thing that's happened. Talk about
You're like, I only got 2 under my belt. Thank you very much.
No.
It's like,
hey, no, wait.
New...
No, you guys, this is a true story. I'm gonna share this. So this guy that's like one of my bestest friends in the world. We're not really in communication, but he'll always be my brother. His mom is the one that I talk about in the book, Lorraine, and I created a documentary about her like a week before she passed, and she passed away from cancer. And in California, what's it called? It's when you're euthanized, euthanization. Am I saying it right? It's legal.
Medical suicide?
Yeah, assisted suicide. So she had a suicide party. So we all went, and during the day we were playing the documentary that I made, which I can share with you. She's an angel. So we all watched it, and people came, and everyone went to her bed, and then at night she took a mix of an upper and a downer. Her other son is a doctor, and there was only 5 of us in the room, and she drank it. And at first she started drinking it, and she paused, and no one was leaving the room, and it was really awkward. But she's there. There was like candles and music playing. She took a sip, and then nothing was happening, and then she took another sip, and then after a while she goes, "I am so sorry this is taking so long." And we were like, no, it's fine. She's like, I do apologize. She sat back
this
down.
is so like cinematic, man.
And finally, like her son was like, "Hey guys, why don't we step outside?" And then he was like, "Hey, I don't think this is." Anyway, it didn't end up happening that night. It happened the day after. But I mean, there was something I'm sorry. There was something. She was so at peace with it. This was a decision that she had come to her own. But there was something so surreal about
that is good writing right there. That's wow, a suicide party.
Suicide,
yeah. See you on the other side.
No, so people would go up to her bed, and they were like saying, "I love you, and I'll see you again." And she was like, "Thank you." And then she started reading everybody. It's almost like being alive at your own funeral. So she was reading the cards that people were leaving. And there was this one guy that was just like, "See you later," that he just wasn't deep. And she was like, "Thank you, see you later." I mean, it could be an SNL skit there somewhere.
No, it's even beyond that. Being alive. What?
They're doing living funerals now. That's happening a lot more.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense, right? Like you pass away, no one, you don't get to be there to hear all these beautiful things that people thought about you until everyone listens to them except for the one that should have heard it.
Right. Yeah. I agree. Well, that's just, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, the idea of there being ghosts, spirits, are people that weren't ready to move on. They weren't at peace with it, right? People that are, victims of a horrible tragedy, whatever it may be, that ended their life. They weren't ready for it. So that creates a ghost. But the people that are at peace with transitioning move on.
Yeah, absolutely.
you know.
So that was the core of chapter 9. Obviously, chapter 10 is more about controlling the narrative with, the core being more you don't control your events, right? Like Ron, you control the meaning, you control the narrative. So same reality, different experience, two people, same situation, one has a completely different experience. Why? Because of the narrative. Our brain is always telling a story. The problem is not what happens. The problem is how often we're repeating that problem in our head, how much we're talking about it and reinforcing it. So, as you all know, this work is not about repressing or about suppressing. It's just how long are you going to take to process something? And I was telling that friend of mine towards the end that lost her daughter, I was like, at some point, and I'm not saying you need to do it now, you're gonna have to, bye Roxy, love you. You're gonna have to bring in that willpower to almost have like a conversational detox, a little bit about the situation, because if we keep talking about something, it's not gonna magically go away. We have to put in that rigor to really start eliminating that conversation so much from our lives. Just like going to a detox. So again, everybody, I would never tell somebody get over it. And yet we need to figure out what processing something looks like for us, especially if we want to get to the other side. Does that make sense? And again, it's the correlation between the quality of our lives and our lives is very, very self-evident. Ron, you're somebody that I feel that you're a different human being. I can just feel, and even though we don't really talk every week, like I feel that you really got that the quality of your life was so intertwined by what you talked about. And you
Mhm.
and you made a conscious choice to shift that,
It's
right?
5 o'clock.
Thank you, Ron. Right?
Yes, I agree.
No, and it shows. And not only does it show from you not talking about it, but your energy is now different, and that's something that you need to trust. And as far as like whoever's going to work with in your intimate relationship, just imagine how that person, it's almost like you're getting ready for that person that's on this new wavelength that you're in, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Well, and the other thing is, I feel like the from when we last saw each other in person, which was, I think,
A minute ago.
10 years ago, something like that, in person, 10 years ago. Um, you know, I think I'm much more happier now. It shows, I feel it in people's reaction to me.
Yeah.
It's definitely better for sure, and I'm happy about that. So, yeah.
Yes, for sure. I agree. I agree. So, guys, it's been an amazing session. Does anyone want to share last minute thoughts before we complete? Thank you, Carolyn, our guest star. Maybe she'll join us next week. There's two more sessions after this. Today was number 10, just to letting you guys know it's coming down to the wire, but we still got more. But if we're all good and ready, just want to wish you an incredible week, and you guys inspire me. Thank you for your listening, for your speaking, and I'm sending you the best vibe, and let's just be present to the incredible life that we all have.
Have a great week, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Best to all. Thank you.